This is part two. Just picking off what I left off at of King Solomon in distant lands. Before I go into the second part of this lesson, I must give all honor, praise, and glory to our Heavenly Father Yahweh, also the true Holy Back beside the King of Kings, royalty himself, Yahweh Shah, Amashiach, and much respect and honor to the final of our true for the one West. This lesson is intended to the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel, which consists of the so-called African American blacks today, so-called Latinos, so-called Hispanics, and our Native American Indians, brothers and sisters, as well as the confusion of face, they're scattered abroad, sea and land. They look like the other nations, so it's not based off how a person might look or one complexions, but based off one father when you go to the book of Numbers. In James 1:1, to the 12 tribes, scattered abroad greetings. So I'm just touching back, picking back off what I left off at. It's the close out part of King Solomon in distant lands. So King Solomon knew the alteration, the turning of the sun. How did he know these different parts of the changing of the seasons and all these different things? I tell you about that in the Apocrypha. You have to travel to understand these different things, to understand how the sun and all that different thing. That's how he was able to find this out. Of course, he was working in divine wisdom. Of course, he had the spirit of wisdom that no one have ever had at that time. You know, that's why we go into the New Testament. I know I'm jumping a little bit. It tells you how Yahweh Shah is the power of God and in the wisdom of God. You feel me? So King Solomon was operating on a whole nother level. His wisdom was far past this world. You know, that's why Sheba and everyone came to listen to King Solomon Proverbs, because King Solomon wisdom was declared on the earth, and his influence touched distant lands, and he also traveled and did businesses in different lands. Yep. So, because how do one prove that? In order for you to declare wisdom, that's somebody who you have to be well traveled. Tells you about that in the Apocrypha as well. This is First Kings chapter 4, verse 34. It says, "And there came all people to hear the wisdom of Solomon from all kings of the earth, which had heard of his wisdom," because King Solomon influence touch distant lands. With that, I want to give all honor, praise, and glory to our Heavenly Father Yahweh, also the true Holy Back beside the King of Kings, royalty himself, Yahweh Shah, Amashiach, and much respect and honor to the final Father, true Father, one West. This Father Kings, of course, coming right back at you yet with another lesson.